Good morning, my friends. It is January 21st, 2021 at 9:43 a.m. And when I say good morning, I mean for most of us, we've had a major earthquake in the western Pacific Ocean. You can see right here, and we're talking 7:23 UTC time. So just a few hours ago, a major 7.0 initial registered earthquake takes place. As you can see here, we are just north of Indonesia and just south of the Philippines. That is our measurement right here, 210 kilometers southeast of the southern part of the Philippines right here, right next to a significant fault line that runs right down towards the equator. So this was fairly close to an area we've been monitoring right here. If you guys remember, we made a video talking specifically about the tsunami buoys that went into activation mode over the last couple weeks. We were in a week interval of this specific buoy that I'll bring up on this chart here. On the National Data Buoy Center, we can see this buoy right here is the one we were talking about. So basically about 500 to 600 miles away from the epicenter of this major earthquake that just took place, while most of us here in the United States were sleeping, and some still are. Over here on Twitter, some of the initial reports were just charts and stuff like that, but video and pictures are starting to come in of shaking people out in the streets, as you usually see with a quake of this size. No reports of death yet, which is very good. I don't like seeing that. I don't even like reporting on it, but I feel like it is important to these stories. Something I want to point out to you guys over the last week, I want to show you the major earthquakes we've had in just the past 7 days. Right over here on this website of the USGS, we can click on 7 days, magnitude 4.5 or greater. And when we do so, we see all the earthquakes that took place, especially along the Ring of Fire. That's why it's called the Ring of Fire. It is the most active volcanic and seismic activity in the world. It is a very big chunk of the world. As you can see here, it circles the entire Pacific Ocean and some. But we can see that this earthquake that just took place today is clearly the biggest of these three that we had this week. And when I say these three, I mean the 6.2, the 6.4, and the 7.0 that all took place within this week. We have had some upper fives, which is also very significant. But to be very specific, two of these quakes were only a few hundred miles apart from each other. We could see the major 7.0 that took place today, and then the 6.2 that took place on the 14th. The 6.2 in Argentina, very significant earthquake with damage, and unfortunately, still people missing in that quake. And then, of course, jumping over to South America, we had the Argentina earthquake just 2 days ago, a 6.4, also a very significant quake. In fact, this area is where the biggest quake ever recorded took place in Chile on May 22nd, 1960. And can you believe that? It was a 9.5 earthquake. So history is there, and clearly the fault line instability is there. And my friends, those of you who follow a channel called Suspicious Observers, very smart person and very respected person in the YouTube community and the science community, especially space weather. He does a lot of research on the sun and how the sun directly relates to our seismic activity. I've done some videos very similar but if you want that detailed information of an expert, I highly recommend you go see channels like Suspicious Observer and Dutch Sense when it comes to seismic activity. Not that I want you guys to leave me or anything, but I like to offer you the best possible information, and when I can't offer it, I very much enjoy giving the correct information or the direction of who to go watch when you need that info. But yes, my friends, to wrap this up, the Ring of Fire has been super active. The solar wind has been a very big issue according to a lot of scientists who study solar weather, and it all depends on what part of the Earth is facing the sun at the time of the arrival of those solar particles. Now, we need to understand it takes time for the particles to get from the sun to the Earth, and during that period of time, we need to understand the Earth is rotating, so different parts of the Earth are going to be facing the sun when that energy hits, so that all plays a factor. We do not have any of our tsunami buoys in activation mode that surround this area, the closest buoy being hundreds of miles away, unfortunately. And to be even more specific, Hawaii here is not under a tsunami warning. I know there was a fear of that possibly being an issue, but that has been since denounced. It is not an issue for Hawaii. So for right now, the focus is going to be on this major earthquake that took place, but also the fact that this is our second major earthquake in just a few days in this immediate area. So does this mean that something else is on the horizon? Are we going to see a lot of volcanic activity? I know some of that is going along. We have some of the highest condensed volcanoes in the world in this area right here, this strip that goes just along the northern area of Australia and right by the buoys that we were talking about. And here is Indonesia right here in the middle of all of it. So our thoughts and prayers are with those people, obviously, right now in this moment while they are still assessing the damage. Also, my friends, in the coming days, we're going to be talking about some weather systems that may not be affecting the U.S. in any significant way, but the fact that we're seeing some of these low pressure numbers, hurricane force numbers, my friend, in the North Atlantic Ocean. You can see right here we have one of two of these situations going on. I will be talking about in the near future. We still have some more time to see if these will even develop, but very interesting to see storms of this strength up in the Northern Atlantic Ocean. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I will be following up on this earthquake and/or any other significant situations that go on around the earth. I gave you guys yesterday off. I'm sure a lot of people had other things going on that they wanted to watch and pay attention to. Understandable. Thank you all so much. I will talk to you all very soon. Shout out to Canada. If you have not already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Every little bit helps, and I enjoy putting this content out to you. Thank you so much. I will be back. Be safe. Bye-bye.